YouTube isn't going to get any of that, but whatever.
Welcome to Calling Out There, the Cool Wheels podcast. We've been going for about 10 minutes now.
We're just talking about fucking
Best
80s
part of the
alien
show.
movies, so like it's not like.
Hey, before we get really into our topic of today, is anybody going to watch on Friday Petey Wheatstraw?
What is that?
Guess not. Okay, so
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
36 Cinema, which is a online platform that typically has been streaming kung fu films with guests such as RZA, Dan Halstead from Hollywood Theater here in Portland.
So it's kind of like
Yeah, it's kind of like that. So you pay like $8 or $10 to see a movie with live commentary. Well, this Friday is going to be Petey Wheatstraw. Petey Wheatstraw was a character played by Rudy Ray Moore. And it's Petey Wheatstraw, the devil's son-in-law, and
More than Dolomite?
oh yeah, come on, man.
I don't
And
know.
the
I'm white, my
guest,
dude. You're lucky I know who Rudy Ray Moore is.
Rudy Ray Moore, Richard Roundtree. I mean, come on. But there's going to be a guest. I want to pull up the name, make sure I pronounce it correctly. Let's see, Petey Wheatstraw, the devil's son-in-law, which I've already booked tickets for because I love blaxploitation films because they're closer to, they're grittier, they're more of reality.
Sure.
I mean, yes, they are out there sometimes, but they speak more to what was being seen, right?
Oh, yeah. They remind me of like a pulp noir, but exclusively of black folks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like it's almost like turning that genre on its head.
Right. And if you look at them, really, they were talking about political things such as police brutality and who's bringing drugs into the community and whatnot, and where a lot of the media at the time wasn't even going over that. Right. That wasn't a thing that they wanted to highlight. Let me see.
Nope.
It looks like I can't find his name here, but I want to tell you because once I say the name, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I got to see this." One of the guest hosts.
Say the name.
It's always the last name that's going to get me. Maybe it's the first name. Donnell Rawlings. And you're like, who? And I'll say the character that you're most familiar with, probably seeing him, is Ashy Larry.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
No, I knew that name sounded familiar. Yeah, okay, cool.
Donnell Rawlings. So he's going to be the guest host on Petey Wheatstraw on 36cinema.com. So if you get a chance, I strongly recommend, because watching some of these films with live commentary, like we watched Mystery of Chess Boxing on Friday, live commentary from RZA, and then at the end of it, Donnell Rawlings shows up, and he just goes off about how great the film is and how he's looking forward to doing Petey Wheatstraw. So, hey, I'm happy. I get to see kung fu films and blaxploitation in the same place.
Yes,
Color me good.
Okay.
So, thank you for letting me let me plug that. It's definitely
sure.
Definitely worth seeing.
Hey man, you always feel some good time in the beginning of the podcast. I just let you go. Less for us to pick up. All right, I'll get shit set up. So, just a moment.
Sweet.
I'm gonna fix
It
this
should be
fucking.
pretty obvious to anybody watching this, but this week we will be celebrating wrestlers from the LGBTQ community. And I guess that's really all that needs to be said.
Yeah. You nailed it.
Hell yeah, Banana did in the office.
Yeah, it was interesting when we were deciding on these matches if we were going to have, I suppose the proper terminology is the wrestlers who are out, who, you know, instead of, well, this wrestler was a gay icon, right? Because there were several gay wrestling icons, there always have been, from Ricky Starr to Gorgeous George was a gay icon, Adrian, exotic Adrian Street, right?
Right.
But we're not in a position to know what their what preference is not the correct term, but what their
Their status.
sex. There's
Orientation.
I don't. Beyond me. So we didn't really go into any of these gentlemen who were icons
Right.
of the time.
There are many who are out, and then there are also many who are just like, this is a behind closed doors sort of thing.
Right.
You didn't really want to go there.
Well, you think about it. It's a minority group, right? That they are gay, lesbian, transsexual. And forgive me if I don't know all the proper terminology because it's constantly evolving and I'm constantly learning.
Right.
So it has carried its own stigma in a sport that is typically well attended by gay men, right?
Mhm.
And it's interesting because there have been several wrestlers who really appeared, especially in the earlier days, who really, it was that, in the closet. It was behind closed doors. And it's funny because a lot of these men made major changes in wrestling. And I don't think they necessarily got the attention they deserved. And I don't think the whole stigma that society places on people because a consenting adult decides which consenting adult they're going to love makes no fucking sense to me. It's baffling. So yeah, we've got a bunch of matches here. What, 5 or 6 matches?
Yeah, around there, and they're all like
lined up?
Almost 20-minute matches.
Okay.
So.
And I'm guessing most of these are more modern, right?
Yeah. Besides the ones that you sent me,
Okay.
I've got 2 more local people. And
Okay, excellent. Locals, good.
As for icons, there's one person, Anthony Rivera, that there's no way to ask how they identify, but I think his gimmick really kind of is empowering for a whole lot of different people, so I included him as well.
Okay, good.
Right.
So first one we're doing is Nyla Rose versus the scariest woman on earth, Saraya Knight.
Yeah.
Saraya.
Go ahead and switch us over.
So I'm familiar with Saraya, but I don't know who Nyla Rose is.
Well, she's I'm sorry, excuse me. Nyla Rose is a superstar now.
Okay.
At AEW. But I went back and I found an indie match with Saraya Knight just because I am a big fan of Saraya's. So.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Is that ring announcer wearing a purple suit and white gloves?
I love him.
Man, that's great.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Right.
Maybe he's a butler. I'm not sure.
And he's got a great haircut, if I do say so myself.
White gloves.
Tubbs Phil's gimmick getting pinched.
Well, it's not like I came up with the idea.
Right.
Hey, quit pinching my gimmick.
Speaking of gimmicks being pinched, funny story involving Saraya Knight. I met Richard Sincere at a Saraya Knight seminar here in Portland.
That is correct.
Yeah, and I was apparently kind of curt with him.
Get the F away from me, dude.
No. I mean, I think I was polite enough, but I definitely wasn't thrilled to have a guy who I believe your exact verbiage was, "Hi, I'm Richard. I understand we have similar gimmicks."
That is almost identical. That is almost word for word what I said. It's like, "Hi, I'm Richard. I've heard we have identical gimmicks, right?" And that was it. It was just like trying to have an icebreaker. And forgive me for not understanding that apparently is faux pas.
Gotta work on your fake pad, Richard.
Because I got this. Nice to meet you. Right? It's a little like, go away. I'm like, no, okay.
I just realized that I just don't even have Eric on on this screen right now. My bad. I'll fix that.
No, it wasn't you. It was when I started doing this gimmick, and it was kind of getting plagiarized as it did.
Yeah.
And then and I mean, forgive me, but I don't know you from Adam. And
Right.
Like, so someone comes up to me, is like, hey, we have the same gimmick. It's like, cool. Like, fuck off, guy.
Right. And for me, it was interesting because when I started wrestling, it was an idea that I had, but it kind of got pitched to me in a different way. And I was like, yeah, because I always wanted to have a gentlemanly gimmick, right? I just like that. And it gives me a good excuse that I have to bust my ass doing flips.
I would love to see you do flips, though.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. I'd rather eat the rail like Nia did there.
Yeah, wow.
Than to do a flip.
Me too.
But hey, man, it worked out. We get along.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Just barely. I can see.
Yeah, it's okay. Eric was a total dick to me for like the first 6 months we knew each other too. He warmed up to you way faster than they did to me.
Does the back of her shirt say, or I'll kick you in
Yep, sure does.
Yep, that's right.
And if you don't...
You'd be surprised if they don't have that word in there. I mean, she's kind of a British wrestler, and they're cool with that down there.
Well, I mean, I imagine if they don't have one, she will create one on you and then kick you in it.
Yeah.
Now, is this like a no rules match or something? Because, yeah, it seems the ref is being real relaxed.
Yeah,
here.
well,
Yeah,
I also wouldn't want to tell Saraya what the fuck to do in her match, so...
So, what can you guys tell me about Nyla Rose?
She is big and she is mean and she is. I don't watch AEW, so that was like my only real.
Neither do I, and to be honest, that's for a lot of these wrestlers in the LGBTQ community, a lot of them are younger. It seems to be that stigma is kind of dying out, you know. And,
Thankfully.
Yeah, and
Oof.
and so a lot of these guys are younger, and I just don't watch these sort of products. So
Gotcha.
I mean, I know Nyla Rose because I've heard the name enough
Okay.
because of what they're doing, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't watch AEW.
Honestly, I haven't been watching almost any TV wrestling unless it's like somebody I know lately.
Right.
I mean, I've been having some difficulties with, a lot of the mainstream stuff.
And I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed this, but we stream matches on here and stuff, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that noticed a very stark contrast between stuff from like 1985 and stuff from like 1999. Yeah. And it's just, oh god, the newer stuff is just painful to watch by comparison.
Yeah, absolutely, because it just devolved brawling or spots.
Yeah.
Right? Devolved brawling and spots is just I'm not seeing wrestling. Now, I understand wrestling evolves, people have different taste in it and whatnot. My personal preference is to watch grappling. And every once in a while, if it devolves into some good punch kick, I'm great with that, but for the most part, I want to see grappling.
Sure.
Sounds like an upcoming episode there.
Yeah, good call.
Or we just do a deathmatch episode and watch Richard scream for an hour and a half.
And I don't hate
Freak
that.
show wrestling.
I don't hate watching brawls, like I don't know, Bruiser Brody or whatever. It's not like he wrestled.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's just something there's something missing in the storytelling nowadays.
Right.
And I think I kind of come on to something. I started playing role-playing games with my kid. And like very simplified, of course, right?
Right.
But the big thing about role-playing games is to tell a story and kind of immerse yourself in these characters. And it occurred to me that wrestlers nowadays are a lot like my 8-year-old son. When a situation comes up, he'd rather just drop an atomic bomb on it.
Right.
Than actually take what's coming at him, think of something clever to work around, and tell a story with it. Either, okay, I'm just going to turn into a monster.
Ooh, nice reversal.
That's beautiful. And in a lot of ways, I think that's what wrestling is now. They would rather just drop a bomb on whoever they're wrestling.
Right. So I went into Wikipedia here to look up Nyla Rose. She became the first openly transgender wrestler to sign with a major American wrestling promotion, which was AEW.
Yes.
And
I think she became their champion not too long ago.
Yeah.
She did.
Their
nice.
champion, yes.
Nice.
I think she was the first women's champion there.
Yeah, I think that's right.
There's not a lot here on the Wikipedia page about her. She's an actress as well. She starred in the 2016 Canadian television series The Switch as the lead character. She's 37 years old, so 1982.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she doesn't seem that old.
No, I figured she was super young.
Right. But I don't see here who she was trained by, or really a lot of different promotions that she's worked at. But in 2019, she was ranked number 66 of the top 100 female wrestlers in PWI Female 100.
Cool.
So,
Yeah,
this
clumsy there.
this match we're seeing with her and Saraya is definitely just a brawl, because we're not even really seeing Saraya do some of the wrestling that we know she can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
Dude, she just always looks so mad.
She's just so mean looking.
So Brian Lee mentioned how he loved the brawl between Eric and I at NWWA. Thank you for that. I know when I went into it, I went to Eric and I'm just like, well, I guess we're not wrestling. And he knew how I felt about brawling. I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's the lowest common denominator wrestling. The guys, and I don't mean that as, that sounds very disrespectful, I suppose. But what I mean by that is, with very minimum training in the sport, you can brawl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? It doesn't necessarily look good. It may not necessarily make sense, but you can do it. Right? That's why a lot of guys, some of their first matches are battle royals, because we all learn how to kind of brawl around.
Yeah.
Right.
Punch, kick, and sell, and that sort of thing.
Punch, kick, sell. Yeah, punch, kick, sell. So I remember going into that match being like, I'm not a fan of brawling, and you're like, oh, you gotta enjoy it, have some fun with it, you know. And Eric got me to be comfortable with brawling. Because prior to that, I was like, oh, I'll throw one little slap here, I'll throw one little kick here, and we'll be done.
I think it helps when you're having fun with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Unlike this match where I've seen like 20 kicks or punches to the groin. I mean, that's all Saraya's doing in this.
Daniela's asking,
Meter
what does brawling mean?
Well, I mean, it really is on her shirt. So, like, if she wasn't doing it, then
I guess you're right. I'm sorry.
Again, have Stone Cold show up and not drink a couple of beers. Come on.
Fair. So brawling is really just a punching, kicking, short little. There are some holds in brawling, but usually it's to throw more punches, like a headlock, punch. Think about two kids scrapping on the playground.
Right.
Those kids are brawling. There's not necessarily a technical aspect to it. There's not necessarily a science to, I'm going to throw this jab, I'm going to throw this right, I'm going to throw this big uppercut. It's kind of like, we're just going to throw on each other. We're just brawling. Whatever we can get, we can get. And usually in a brawl, especially in wrestling, someone gets the advantage.
Yeah.
And you go from there.
was not a clean front bump from Saraya.
No.
She fucking
That was
went
all
crumbled.
shoulder.
The times that I like brawling is like what Brian is talking about when we had a program, because
Right.
the idea, at least in my opinion, with brawling is that the civility of wrestling is out the window.
Yep.
Whatever these people have between each other has gotten to the point where you're not going to
Nice.
wrestle anymore. Yeah, it's very good.
2 handfuls of hair in that pinfall. I don't know that I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I like going
I
into
like
a brawl like on a day where I'm not feeling that great. So I'm like, cool. I'm not gonna get bumped around. I'm not gonna get blown up. We're just gonna hit each other.
Yeah, they're
That was bad placement right there.
yeah, cardio wise.
Yeah, you have to be on your game to brawl. That's for sure. That's one of the reasons that when you see a lot of people brawl, they're just gassed and it makes the fight look bad. And
Yeah,
I mean, we brawled around almost for 12 minutes straight.
sure.
You know, very rarely did we do much else.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, like grab a hold and be just like, where are we going?
Yeah, right.
Okay, here we go. And just go
Wasn't
at
that
it.
after your
right?
cage match too?
No, I think the cage match was the end
Oh
of it.
wow.
The cage match was the end of it.
Wow, that's actually
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, I know.
surprising.
Weird that it made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, plain cage match of death.
Yeah, Evan says here, brawling should be used for either monster characters looking to inflict punishment or two wrestlers who have gone at it in the ring and take it to a personal level. Yeah, Evan, I think that's a good way of looking at it. But there are people in the business who all they do is brawl, right? Maybe they're a scrapper, right? They just get out there and they scrap. They try to wrestle a little bit. They realize that's not going anywhere for them. They just brawl because that's their style.
Yeah.
Right. Get over
Brawler.
Austin.
It can, yeah.
Oh,
it
it does all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Some of the biggest names ever are just brawlers.
Right.
And I mean, fucking ECW
Yeah,
made 90% of a promotion around it. So
I mean, not even those kind. I mean, that's more like a hardcore sort of thing, maybe as opposed to brawling, if you want to make a distinction. But like your NWA, you know, and it's heyday, like your Dusty Rhodes, like
Dusty Rhodes is a brawler. Yeah.
You know, granted, a charismatic one.
yeah. Hey, I mean, he's got 2 out of the 3 things he needs. He can work and he can talk. He doesn't need to be able to wrestle very well. Although I'm
That's
sure
right.
he could.
Look good.
Yeah, so we've watched, 12, 15 minutes of these two ladies just
Yep, about 15.
brawling,
Yeah. Going tooth and nail, man.
just brawling around.
Anybody want to take a wild guess as to where this is?
I'm going to say NorCal.
Nah. I've been in just...
Okay.
Well, I mean, I know at least what all the NorCal venues look like.
Okay.
Definitely not... I'd say somewhere in the Midwest.
Yeah, or maybe out east,
Yeah, because...
like
Arizona.
Maybe.
Like,
Isn't-
I would guess maybe close to like, you know, the Tri-Cities area, maybe, but I don't know.
NorCal draws more than this, typically.
Hey, I can look it up. They're WOW,
Yep.
right? That's what I'm seeing.
I think it's
WOW,
the World of Wrestling.
World
I
of
think.
Wrestling. So I can look up this match pop, maybe, right? See who was on.
Are
No
women
spoilers.
wrestling like UK based?
What was that, Spice?
Isn't women wrestling there UK based?
Yeah, but there's probably a lot more promotions called WOW than just that one.
Whoa,
Yeah,
how
I was
dare
doing
you!
promotion when I was 10 years old.
Warriors of Wrestling, correct?
Maybe. Their logo is
It
a
says
fist
at
with
the very
wings.
beginning, not
Yep. I'm looking it up, trying to figure out where they are.
Not a big draw, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, they've
Well, I
got someone
show-
with an official WWE belt, man.
I show here, WOW, Women of Warriors. I'm not sure that's the same one.
Don't click the video
Oh,
link.
dear
That might be,
Christ. Oh no, dude.
oh,
Ah!
Oh, come on. Oh, dude, she's got her foot hooked too. Don't do that.
Oh no.
you can see the dude on the bar. He's just worried as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Like, out of all the DDTs you could take, that one is fucking terrifying.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like mat. That looks like rubber floor.
Dude, I had Lance Dean just call that on me once, and I was like, okay. Never done this before.
New York.
Ah!
Their training facility is in Staten Island.
Wow.
Shaolin.
So I guess that's what a small level indie in New York looks like.
Yeah. Just brawling around.
Yeah.
God, that liver punch though. Why?
That's what I'm like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just dirty.
Ah!
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Just love a little extra dirtiness for no reason at all.
right.
That's the British style.
Yeah.
It's the dirtiness because you're a heel, baby. That's what you do.
Oh,
Ay, caramba.
get over here.
So one of the things you'll notice about Saraya is that she's wearing Doc Martens.
Yep.
That's what she wore in the ring.
Yeah, she's the one that well, I mean, she inspired me to wear Docs in the ring as well.
Right.
Because it was really, I just looked at her as like, well, and I talked to her about it. She's like, oh yeah, it's fine, whatever. And so I went for it, and no one ever cried about it. A few people have gotten waffle stomped a little bit, but
I thought you had workers' souls on those.
no,
Wow.
No.
Huh. Never noticed. But, I mean,
no, just like brother.
I guess.
I love boxing shoes, man. Fuck
Hey,
those.
when I wore the more traditional low, the more traditional low cut boot with a just rubber sole, guys did not like to get kicked with it. All right. and when I moved to that thicker foam sole, never heard a complaint. Not one. Which to me is like working in those thicker foam soles is painful. It's just not. I don't have the same traction. I'm not. I'm teetering the whole time. It feels like I'm so
That's
used
where
to
I'm
being.
at, man.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
really
it's
got
rough.
to act for that sort of thing.
Those boots suck.
All right, we ready for the next one?
Yeah, what do
I
we
think
got
the
next?
next one is a
Whoa.
local one. Oh yeah, this is gonna make Richard mad. So this is a
history of violence.
this is a death
Okay.
match between the Handsome Devil, Anthony Rivera, and a dude named Blue Jeans. I think. No idea who Blue Jeans is, but Riv is one of my favorite guys in NorCal. I was gonna talk to him before doing this match, but I'm a little intimidated by him, so I was just like, "Fuck it." So
At least you could say it out
Yeah.
loud.
His blood.
yeah, I.
The Cobra logo is
Oh
interesting.
yeah, it's UGWA or UGWA. It's a little bit of a controversial promotion down in NorCal for reasons that I don't really care to invest myself in to find out about. But
Okay.
Oh.
they do a whole lot of deathmatch stuff, but they're pretty fucking popular down there from what I've seen. I'd like to work there at some point.
Let me see what I got here. I got a guy in a jersey,
Yeah,
a football jersey or a
this
hockey
is Blue
jersey,
Jeans,
pretty
I
common.
think.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's his blue jeans.
And he's wearing the most generic of all generic
Oh yeah, he's wearing.
pleather vinyl shorts that you can wear with the two ladies around the star.
This could be a
Yeah.
really cool guy. I have no idea who he is. I didn't pick this
Okay.
match for him.
I mean, the crowd seems to like him.
Yeah.
You know, man, he looks like anything that would pop out of ECW in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right.
Literally.
And he's wearing a singlet under there, and it looks like his pants don't fit. That's kind of what I expect when I see those pants.
Also,
Sorry.
I met Riv the first time I was over at Virgil's, and
Oh, nice.
I had no idea who he was.
Is that guy dressed as Waldo?
Yeah, but I took one look at him and I was like, this guy is fucking captivating. Like, if there's ever an example of the kind of worker and the kind of look I eventually want to go for, it's this guy.
Gotta dig the fishnet there.
Yeah,
But I can never pull this shit off, so all him.
I swear I've seen this guy
You
before.
probably have.
It's like Dr. Frankenfurter meets wrestling.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's probably before everybody's time, but Spicy's. But he reminded me a lot of him from the Powerpuff Girls.
Yes.
Speaking about LGBTQ.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how Riv identifies, but I know he's got a gigantic fan base in that community. So
Wow, you know how relieved I am when you said that word?
yeah. Oh dear lord.
I mean, he does have big dick energy. I'll say it. I'll say it.
he's got big swanging dick
Fat
energy.
people.
Yeah, he definitely looks hype, and we're gonna watch a hardcore match with him.
Yep. He's
Oh boy.
he's
Because
big
they-
into death matches.
Or they need more.
He actually has a whole lot of technical skill, but you know, just some dudes want to do that shit.
Fair enough.
Yeah, boy, not me.
I mean,
Yeah, Riv
once a year.
Riv definitely looks like he's in killer shape.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he hangs out with Super Beast and Funny Bone, so like, you know, he better be in good shape to keep up with those motherfuckers.
Right. Wow, this match just looks uneven already.
Yeah,
Pro versus
Dude,
Joe.
the craziest thing is I think Riv's the heel too.
Only in Stanton could you have the dirtbag looking guy be a baby.
Oh, this isn't New York. This is NorCal.
Well, all right.
Also, this is the first round of a deathmatch tournament, so that might explain the matchup.
Of a tournament?
Yeah. You know how deathmatch dudes like to do their endurance shows.
Oof, yep.
I too was scared.
Riv actually was training dudes down at Virgil's school once Virgil was gone.
I mean, he's got some crisp strikes, so it doesn't surprise me. Those strikes look
Yeah,
great.
I think any of Virgil's students could speak to how technically sound he is. He's just a little bit fucking nuts, obviously.
Well,
Nice axe kick there.
being nuts will only help you in this business.
Yep.
And hey, check it out. Homeboy's shorts are down.
Yes, they are.
Those fuckers have a drawstring too. I don't get it. At least mine did.
Yeah, man, those punches on Riv, those are great.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
love to work this guy. He's on my list.
I like how even though it's a death match, he's still taking his time with everything.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, and he's doing the thing like, yeah, I don't really want to get involved in this hardcore shit like most dudes and, well, hardcore dudes in death matches should. But, of course, he's the one who bumps in it first, of course, as the guy who doesn't want to take that shit.
Right.
Well, yeah, the guy gives the back body drop and then falls on him. It doesn't seem like either one of these guys really want to
Can we
hit
get an
that.
ass crack counter, by the way? That's where it won.
Oh, well, that's one.
We're at 3, 4.
That back rate made famous by one
Terry Bollea.
Ron Sutherland, right?
Oh.
Wasn't it his? It propelled him to an NWA title match.
Oh, God.
You'd think that a guy named Blue Jeans, who is in a hardcore match, would probably wear some blue jeans.
Yeah,
Thank you. I was wondering it too.
I'll take another back body drop.
I assume the gimmick is some kind of inside joke that we're just not privy to.
Right.
Probably.
Also, I forgot to mention this, but barbed wire plus fishnets, holy shit, ow.
Yeah, that's
That
not
shit
good.
gets caught, and you're just not having a good day anymore.
What did he get here? Is this like a ruler?
It looks like a kendo
No, it's a
stick.
ruler.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
This guy's got a bicycle. How much does this guy weigh?
Too much.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
You enjoy doing this?
I think that guy had some carpet strip. You put that down to make sure your carpet stays.
Oh, you're
in
right,
place.
that is a
Oh
carpet
yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh.
Yo, if you've ever touched your finger on one of those things, they fucking hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
and they're
yep.
cheap, so like a lot of deathmatch dudes use them.
Ugh.
By the way, why did Jersey guy take off his jersey in a match with barbed wire?
And his finger.
That's the only reason to be wearing a jersey when you wrestle.
Well, he's got that
I've
SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 trait where you actually power up when you start bleeding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've worked one hardcore match in my life, and I wore body armor. So
Yeah, I was there.
Oh yeah,
Like-
match.
yeah, where I was like, nah, they gonna hit me with a weapon? Nah,
I guess that does count as hardcore.
Yeah.
right? It was the fans bring weapons, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
there were a lot
God.
of fucking weapons in that match.
There were.
I just remember repeatedly like disposing of actual weapons.
Yeah.
Someone broke a vinyl record over someone else's head, and I noticed there's just like shards of vinyl in the ring. It's like, I'll just like throw this over the cage. We don't want to mess with this.
Also, you
Right.
underestimate the fucking force it takes to break a vinyl record. Those fuckers are durable. I
yeah,
don't know who got it broken on them, but oh my god, they got hit hard with it.
yeah. I don't remember, to be honest.
If you don't remember,
What is
it
he
might have been
setting
you.
up here?
I can't wait. I want to know.
A beautiful Euro.
Nice Euro. Wow. Really clean strikes.
If it's a back body drop. Okay.
Oh,
That was polite.
Oh.
You know, this guy looks like Tommy Dreamer if Tommy Dreamer never cared.
I was going to say that. I was trying to come up with a Tommy Dreamer pun for like the past 8 months. I couldn't think of one.
Tommy Broken Dreamer?
There you
Okay.
go.
Good enough.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's
That'll
see.
work.
Ooh, it just didn't even care how he threw
Yeah.
it.
Riv got his hands up, thank God.
Yeah, jeez.
The crowd fucking loves him though, so he's doing something right.
Do a moonsault.
Sure.
He's kind of got that Kevin Owens body with like none of the Kevin Owens charisma. I don't
Right.
want to keep dunking on this guy. I don't know
Oh,
if he's
really?
cool or not.
He might be cool. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to make an enemy of blue jeans.
Dude, he might be the promoter's best friend, and I'm fucking my whole chance of ever working here.
Right.
I'll burn all the bridges in the Northwest, but goddamn, let me have California.
All right, what are we doing now? He's down. Instead of grabbing a chair that was right there. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go.
This also reminds me of that fucking that cage match we did. I came out with that barbed wire crutch and forgot that JB used it earlier in the night. I touched it, and my hand was just covered in not my blood, and I'm like, wonderful. I'm gonna go wash my hands.
Yeah, I went out there with a shield and a baton. And I remember, I think it was BJ had his back turned to me, and I'm like, yep, too bad for you, and just thumbed him across the thigh with it. And then go, oh yeah, these guys aren't used to getting that.
Right.
Right? And I remember him throwing a chair out of the blind, like it blindsided me, and just instinctually my little shield just popped up and blocked it. And I looked at him like, what are you doing, man?
I swung that crutch like a golf club right into BJ's nuts. And it caught his nuts with one of the barbs and cut his ball sack open.
Oh, that's right. Oh my god.
Oh.
Ouch.
Yeah, this is not for me. Nice stomp. Man, his strikes are impressive.
Fucking
Yeah.
love me some Riv.
I want to see more of this guy. If I'm identifying
Oh.
Riv properly.
Oh,
He pulled that one
Yeah,
back
I'm
away.
99% sure that he does identify as a male, so I think we're good there.
Nice stomp. Good editing as well.
Yeah. Well, they've got enough fucking cameras. Good thing they're like actually utilizing them, unlike some people we know.
sure.
Yeah,
I know that. Right off.
Whoa, man.
Yeah,
That
for sure.
logo was cool.
Chair stuck on his wrist tape.
Mm.
Oh no!
Tape your wrist, but you won't wear your singlet.
Oh, we already did that.
It's a hood slam thing.
Pull up your pants.
Dude, the barbed wire's trying to help
Oh
him.
no! Oh no!
Whoa.
Yeah, that singlet's
Oh,
done.
that singlet's done.
Here.
Come on, dude. It's not his fault.
The ref's like, let me get in here.
Hey, I dig that there's a ref like in the match, but he's not helping set up spots. Like,
He's trying to get the barbed wire out, and the Blue Jeans is like keeping his pants from getting pulled off.
man.
One thing, man. Like,
Hardcore matches,
in
man.
a match like this, I don't know why a ref doesn't have wire clippers.
And if you're not hardcore, then you live hardcore.
Gotta pull him up. I'm bleeding. It's hardcore. Gotta pull him up.
When there's that much fucking barbed wire in a match, the ref should always have wire clippers for a multitude of
You would
reasons.
think, or the timekeeper at least. Somebody.
Oh!
Or Waldo.
Fucking maniac. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't do the exact same fucking thing for a crowd that big, but like, goddamn.
Hot.
God,
I have to admit, Riviera is being pretty forgiving here. I mean, he's throwing himself into this
Yeah.
stuff, but he's letting the
Yeah.
other guy not throw himself into this stuff.
and his hair,
He's-
just the consistency of his hair, he's in that shit.
Yep.
Right?
Once I took a DDT
That's enough from that
Onto-
from you, Kevin.
I took a DDT onto a bat wrapped in barbed wire, and I did my flip bump off of it. And my hair caught in the barbed wire and wrapped around the dude's arm. So we're in some kind of horrible stalemate where if I pulled up, it would cut his arm up, and if he pulled, it would fucking cut my scalp. Yeah, that took some ref intervention.
Oh man, he is stuck in that chair.
They're the fucking wire clippers. Thank
Yeah,
you.
cut his fucking hair.
You know what? Knowing most wrestlers,
Fuck the hair,
they don't
man.
like their haircut.
Yeah.
No.
It's part of their gimmick.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, Kevin Brandt thinks he's funny. He told me to run if there's a chain.
I mean, good advice in hindsight.
yeah.
I think that spot would have gone
Oh,
better if, like,
God.
you know.
Add
all-
injury to insult. He's stuck there. I love that he's laughing. Riv is just laughing about
He's like,
this.
I'm gonna receipt you so hard, motherfucker.
Is he finally free?
Almost. There's still one bit
Almost.
hanging up.
Jesus. I'd like to imagine that got a pop too.
Yeah.
It looked like it did.
Yes.
I think this is like the whole barbed wire budget for the show right here, too. It's like,
Yeah, this was like a go home moment.
barbed
Yeah.
wire is way more expensive than you'd fucking think.
Just steal it from farms, man.
That's what I did back in the day.
I remember one of the organizations that was going to have an all barbed wire match, and they didn't know how to get the barbed wire. Like they literally took all the rope off of the ring, but didn't have the proper tools or setup to put wire all the way around.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ouch.
that's why he protected himself through the whole match.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Riv carried that one for damn sure.
Yeah. Holy smokes. Man.
What a goddamn beautiful maniac that man is, though. Holy shit.
Ugh.
Get out of here, fucking Jersey Mike.
Oh, fucking Spicy's dunking today.
Yeah, man. He might be a cool guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Evan, if you saw the clip of Phoenix Kid getting thrown like 400 feet from Jason into the ring, this was also on this show.
Oh,
Oh man, I literally get chills of the one throw that I saw where Phoenix Kid got thrown and landed on the back of his
That was
neck
this one.
on a plate of glass.
Yeah, this show.
Yeah.
All right.
Good lord. Now, oh my, it was so scary. Like I watched that and I'm like, I hope he's not dead. I hope a piece of glass didn't go into his neck. You know, I hope he's not paralyzed. That was
Yeah, he
gruesome.
was actually totally fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Phoenix is a tough little dude.
Yeah,
Yes, he is.
Okay.
heavy but tough.
Yeah, Evan, you look it up. I think Phoenix has it.
It was his.
Has a couple of the clips of that one particular bump. It's scary as hell. And I remember messaging him right after that and being like, "Hey, man, You don't have to do that.
Right.
It was my
right.
profile
You know-
video for a minute, or his profile video.
Yeah. Because just because of the idea that it was into glass, like it was on something or whatever. Yeah, bumping high on the back of your neck is tough enough as it is. But into glass, where a piece of glass goes the wrong direction and you're done. Ooh.
Yeah, Big Sin also is just, at my size, Big Sin scares the fucking shit out of me. And Phoenix Kid comes up to like the center of my chest. So he's got
Yeah.
more balls than I do right off the fucking bat. Alright. I think we're going way more classic with the next one.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yes!
Oh, Terry Garvin? Fuck yeah.
Terry Garvin and Adrian Street. All right.
Take a quick bathroom break. I'll be back in a second.
No break for you.
Yeah, this one looks pretty rough, but it should be good time.
Good old Terry Garvin.
The beauty.
You know, with all the stuff I've watched from back in these days, I don't think I've seen him when he wasn't much when he wasn't WCW with the Freebirds.
And exotic.
No, that's Jimmy Garvin.
That's Jimmy
Oh
Garvin.
yeah, that's right.
Exotic. Oh, Adrian Street. One of my favorite. I remember when even when Goldust came out, I was like, no. He's just doing Adrian Street, and I was young when that happened, but I knew who Adrian Street was.
Yeah, I'm a big Adrian fan as well.
Yeah.
I've still got a couple pieces of equipment that I bought from his Bizarre Bazaar way back when.
Yeah, because him and his wife used to run a little online shop, and he was doing training because he was down in Florida, right?
Yeah, and they were doing custom gear. I talked to him on the phone a few times, and well, those extra thick knee pads I have,
Yeah.
those are from him because back then I'm 320 pounds. I wanted extra pads.
Right.
Sure.
But son of a coal miner.
Yeah.
And, I remember the photo shoot of him down in the mine with a bunch of coal miners and him just in full regalia. And I was just like, oh yeah. He was just, it was just something about it because it was, it's thumbing your nose at the norm. And I like that. I like that as a message because there weren't a lot of guys doing it at that time,
Right.
Yeah,
So I'm glad he got it included
he's
here.
got big Bowie vibes.
Now who's that he's messing with there?
Oh, I think that was Terry.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I thought Terry was up in the ring. All right.
Yeah. Beautiful Terry Garvin.
I don't
Passed
know
away
if
in-
I know him.
Okay, passed away in '98. He was open. He was just. I don't know all the proper terminology.
Right.
If homosexual is still considered the proper terminology, I just don't know.
Yeah, you're good.
But he was open.
Yeah.
And I think that probably cost him a bit of time of his career. I don't think people wanted to work with him because of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got to think like his brother was world champion.
Right.
And like Terry never really, I mean, even Jimmy had a pretty solid career. Terry really didn't.
Right. But I don't think, were they actually brothers? Were they real brothers or were they?
Gosh, you know what? Terry and Ronnie, I want to say are actual brothers. Jimmy, I don't think is a real relation, but I don't.
Let's see. He is best known for his work with kayfabe brother Ron Garvin.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So, but a match between these two, just Adrian Street cardio for days. I love watching him.
I would love gear like that.
Love watching him in his world of sport when he's doing a serious match, when he's working against guys like Catweasel, anything along those lines. I just like Adrian Street.
Have to admit,
Gotta
it's
give
been a
it.
while since I've seen.
Yep. Classic heel move right there.
Gotta give it. Is Adrian Street still training at WWE?
I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know.
I think they
last-
let go a lot of their trainers recently, so
Oh, right. Yeah, coronavirus. I forgot that's a thing.
Still, yes, it is.
We're all in this together, new normal.
Sarcasm.
Now here we're seeing a match with brawling, and Terry Garvin was a brawler. There's no doubt about it. And if you look at it, strike, boom, means something. React means something. Not these little bitty rabbit punches that don't go a lot of places or whatnot.
Right.
Double axe handle, right? Standard brawling. He's just throwing down. You haven't seen an exchange really of hold for hold, right?
And another one of those things you don't see as often nowadays is the whole letting the guy sell,
Right.
because that makes you look, kind of awesome if you hit them and it takes a few moments for them to even do anything instead of just jumping right back in there and pounding on them. A lot of guys don't give them that time anymore. It's like they're thinking, what's next? What's next? What's next?
Hey, you got a snap, Mayor?
Man.
Yeah, and that's a absolute fact. Is you'll see when you're watching these two. Look at him. He's got him by the hair, and who's really leading that, right?
Right.
Adrian's, Adrian Street's just jumping around, making it look worse than it is. And here's Terry just going, okay, we'll let this breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think he stole his gear from the Hearthstone.
Well, I've also seen him in a Tarzan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's better to steal from the Heart Foundation than from Jimmy Snuka.
Good old double axe handle. I mean, talk about a move you didn't even see as often back then.
Yeah.
Right. Not successfully, anyway.
Yeah.
Boys, I'm bringing it back. I'm just gonna start doing running double axe handles.
I remember at the training school, I was trying
Look
to
at
get
that cell. Do you see that clump to the back?
Yeah.
And he just jumped and so. Sorry, Eric, stepped on you there.
Oh, no, it's fine.
And then for a minute,
single-
me and Eddie were trying to get over the triple axe handle.
That was a spot. Was that a spot I came up with for you two, or was it him and Ricky?
It was
We're
it was the two of us, but then, as most of the spots went, Ricky co-opted it for the two of them.
Right. Yeah, I remember helping you guys put that spot together. That's a pretty good spot, to be honest. The triple axe.
They don't do it anymore. Maybe we can fucking take it back.
Hell yeah,
Reappropriate
dude.
it.
The proper tag team. It's a funny ass
Yeah.
spot.
And they're not exactly the old school heels anymore, anyway. So like.
Nah.
Oh, nice elbow
Now
drop.
here, yeah, we're seeing some more of what I miss is like this slow, methodical heel just picking his shots and pounding on a guy.
Right.
No, it's it's taking its time. It's going a while.
God, I would have given anything for in the middle of that sentence for them just to dump somebody and then do an Asai moonsault.
It's one of the reasons I go back and I look at some of my matches, especially at WC. Oh, that was a nice little pickup there. Especially at WC, where you'll see me pull the guy out, give one shot, and then walk around, and the guy's just like standing there. I'm like, wow, thanks. I gave you all that time to like sell that while I drew heat. Oh, thanks. And I turned around and be like, well, let's just get back down on the mat. Fuck it.
Yeah, some of them aren't taught that in this
Right.
style.
Selling
Not
is my
anymore.
favorite part of being a babyface. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, dude.
Reach.
Babyface is great. Like, especially if you happen to be over, you don't have to do shit.
Yep.
Just get your ass beat for like 10 minutes solid.
I spent 4 solid years just being a heel bump dummy. And then I turned babyface at BCW. I'm like, wait a fucking minute. Am I stupid?
You don't even bump when you're a babyface if you're doing
I
it.
love it so much. If anybody ever talks to me about turning, I'm just like, oh, well, you see.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. Who's this?
Run in.
Like a pack of wolves.
But it's great because he's fighting back. You see that the baby's getting that last burst and he's fighting back. He's still going. That's great.
Yeah, is this not going to be... Oh, wait. Well, the ref's dead. I was about to say, is this not going to be a fuck finish? But Oh, maybe not. We got 4 minutes left.
My
I
God.
tried to come in and help.
You know, another thing I missed from wrestling in this era is giant ass perms.
Now, add injury to insult, so they're attacking Adrian Street's valet.
Yeah.
Well, valets having matching gear with their clients. That's something that you don't see much.
For sure.
Hey.
You kind of, but I mean, like, you're not wearing my tights out there.
Well, no.
Like, he's, like, wearing a fucking singlet and everything.
Right. Not since Jimmy Hart, really.
Yeah.
Let's face it. I would look terrible in your
Yeah,
tights.
please
I
don't.
mean,
But Tubbs at least makes an effort to coordinate with dudes.
Right,
Fuck knows
right.
he's got enough ties and suits.
well, I got those trying to coordinate with everybody.
It's useful. Makes you different
I mean, I've
from
still got-
some jerk off who just wears a suit and a fucking pork pie hat like any 100 of dudes who started doing that shit after you did. Played Lawless.
Wow, shots fired.
Hello!
Hey, there's Brian Lee. I didn't know he wrestled.
Hey! He tried.
He did. We got
Hey,
work
Tom
for any
Pritchard.
questions. Tom Pritchard, nice.
Jimmy Golden, Ricky Morton, Danny Davis. Wow, what a name that guy had.
Yeah,
The Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
nice.
I was about to say this is the most southern card I think I've seen listed in a while.
The match just end off screen?
Yeah, they were
Oh.
like, all right, fuck this.
Oh, alright.
Because there's a promo.
Yeah. Oh, we can't hear that. So,
We can't hear it.
okay, cool.
S-
Now we've got CVE versus Dark Sheik.
Oh,
Okay, I know who Dark Sheik is.
Well, we've been on shows with CVE.
yeah,
Yeah.
we worked with her at PAL.
Huh. Oh, yes, we have. Okay.
Yeah,
It's not MJ.
yeah, Beer Goggles MJ.
Jeez.
I think you should
Wow,
apologize.
that's the shots fired.
Yeah, I'm sorry to CVE for that. She's infinitely more attractive than MJ.
That's right. She worked at PAL down in
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eugene
Yeah,
with us. Yeah.
I've known her for a long time. Been on carts with her throughout.
I think
Don't
she's
name
a
drop like that.
co-owner
Come
of
on.
ECCW.
Oh, very cool.
And this is Rickshaw Pro Wrestling, which I think is like kind of the Canadian Hood Slam.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like it.
You see Drexel there all the time.
You know, Drexel's fucking everywhere.
I love that man.
Yeah, I love Drexel too.
So is this a hardcore match as
Yes,
well?
there's no ref.
Okay.
At least there's no.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I always wonder, like, when they have these matches, like, what is this guy doing here?
Cutting barbed wire out of people's hair. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They just count themselves then?
There's a ring announcer who counts it actually.
Ah.
That dude, the dude in the chair.
Unmasked and killed in the ring.
Dark Sheik, also one of the founders of Hood Slam.
Oh,
Yeah, and I've seen Dark Sheik wrestle.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Been on shows with her a few times.
Yes.
Really love her style
You know-
and her tag team partner style.
for sure. This is kind of a non sequitur, but do you think guys could be done with the Bullet Club parody T-shirts yet?
Nope.
I think I'll be able to do NWO parody T-shirts.
It's
Oh my! God.
never going away.
If they're not done with Hulk Hogan boots, they're not done with Bullet Club.
Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan boots, bright yellow boots.
I think those
As
are
Dark Sheik is
the
wearing in the ring, the Hulk Hogan boots.
those old Macho Man
Oh,
fucking costume boots. The ones
Yeah,
that
that's
Jimmy
pretty-
Blanchard
Yeah.
pawned off on Eddie.
Yeah, but I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. We're still wrestling shows where every match has the crowd yell "One fall."
Damn it. Thank you.
What?
Oh, what is the worst?
Dude, that wasn't even cool back then. Like, it's the most irritating fucking chant.
What always gets me is when they say that and it doesn't even apply to whatever was just said, and I'm just sitting there like,
I think they're both supposed to be baby faces in this too, but like I don't follow that chronology.
Hardcore baby.
That would,
Baby?
that
Damn.
body language would suggest, yeah.
All right, let's see how this match goes. Nice little lock up. You sure this is a hardcore match? They're wrestling. They're actually
Yeah, no, it defaults.
okay.
well, it's got to start somewhere.
You're confusing. No, it doesn't. We've seen.
Yeah.
Nice
Look,
exchange,
enjoy it
nice
while
down.
it lasts.
That was quite a fireman's carry.
Sheik is one of the few workers who I've seen do stuff that I've actually never seen before.
Right.
Like, you see some of it in this, because I skimmed through.
Take a
this
little
is
go
sort of-
behind.
Yeah.
Trying to do that high hip takeover. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
A little
the
bit of
thing's
that.
working right now. I'm all like, it's nice to see that done right.
Right.
Yeah.
Does somebody just fall on their fucking face trying to do it? Oh,
Now
we're strong style now.
I was almost kind of annoyed by that.
Strong suit.
Nani?
Oh.
I'm sure those are
Laid
loud
in those
chops.
Oof. Quick reversal into the corner.
Right?
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
Jeez, hit your head on that ramp there.
Ow.
Hey, you know, this venue actually does look a lot like the Hood Slam venue. With that big
I
ass
really like
stage.
The big Phillips beer sign.
See, and again, one of those things about hardcore matches that I'm not the biggest fan of. It's like, oh, I'm going to let somebody go get something to hurt me. Hell no, I'm going to wrestle them in the middle of the ring so they can't go get something.
I thought she was throwing up.
Nice boots.
Christina's got better fucking cardio than that.
No, I thought I thought there was some sort of spot
Oh.
where she like ran to puke.
Chop the puke out of her.
Yeah.
Oh. Is that the shish kebab skewers?
Yep, the Masada spot.
Yeah.
Oh no. I thought it was spaghetti. God damn it.
Foreshadowing?
Probably.
Hop to the outside, hop to the inside, and give a leg drop.
Yeah, that
Oh, hey.
Nice
Ooh,
out.
yeah.
That was a nice way going
just
out.
little shit like that Sheik does. I never see anybody else do that pops me every time.
Uh-oh.
And now Sheik's pissed. She fucking fed away, and she's like, oh, okay, well,
Mhm.
it's Balls Mahoney time.
Oh no.
Ball Mahoney?
Yeah, I mean swing chairs, not do math.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Hey. Very polite chair
Oh, that was a
shot.
nice. That was so
I know.
polite.
This match has a lot of that wrestling silliness in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how much can you really expect from the person who founded Hood Slam?
Fair point.
Oh, God. That chair gave out from that jump.
Yeah, that chair's seen some hard
Yeah.
times, Daddy.
Yeah, and she is not a heavy chick. Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, that chair's been through some shit.
Forearm headbutt.
The things I've seen, the butts I've been sat with.
Uh-oh.
No, please no.
ugh.
Ah!
I guess that's one way of showing someone to their seat. But
That was an ugly
That
night.
poor chair's like, I did so many of this.
Bring him back
Oh
for
no,
10.
not more. That's the real victim of this fight.
Yeah, they're running a hell of a fucking tag team heat on that chair.
Oh,
oh, nice. You don't see that. You don't see that capture arm choke. What do they call it? That the $1 Million Man used it, right?
Yeah, and throws to Cobra Clutch.
Cobra Clutch. Okay.
So Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
now did that have that name before Sarge used it, or was that simply something he used because of G.I. Joe?
I think he coined the phrase.
Gotcha.
Coined the phrase Cobra Clutch.
Yeah, I think so.
Let me look that up here.
Hit him with
Richard's
the
handy
facts.
with the Google tonight.
I just have it sitting here. I want to see what.
Once you tap Zartan with it, it's kind of named for life, you know.
Right. Let's see.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Cobra Clutch, also known as a cross arm lock or cross arm choke.
There we go.
Let's see. Let's see if there's an
Ouch.
origin here of the word.
Ah!
Wow,
Oh,
nice.
that was a hell of a bump. Apparently, you can do a Cobra Clutch backbreaker, Cobra Clutch slams.
Cobra
Yeah,
Clutch.
I've seen those.
Cobra Clutch. Slam, where you kind of like pick them up and sit them out. You know, pretty nice.
Right.
There's
Let's
another thing
see.
that would just die in the indies is goddamn apron bumps.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we talk about this all the time, like working, the boys working themselves basically. Like who are you working when you're taking bumps in a legitimately hard part of the ring? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it hurts so bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a few
So-
ways that you can get around it, but fuck hell.
Sure, but I mean it's certainly the hardest part of
Yeah.
the ring.
Oh, it's god awful. It's god awful.
That or like, agreeing to take like exploder suplexes
Oh.
into the corner.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any reference to who created the Cobra Clutch per se, but it was definitely popularized. Nice suplex, definitely popularized by Sergeant Slaughter in the
Right.
early '80s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Storm Shadow can't break it, then no one can.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the staple gun.
Of course.
boy.
Classics.
Oh
You
god.
got photos, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think Drexel has to pay $5 every time he does this. To whoever created the spot.
Seems like a necro spot if I had to guess.
You're probably dead on.
Yeah.
Shame what fucking happened to Necro.
Mm-hmm.
I used to really like him, and now I just can't.
That's the older guy who used to wrestle with no shoes
Yeah.
on, right?
Necro Butcher.
Yeah.
Came out to Freebird.
I think I saw a match with him and Samoa Joe.
Yep. And Joe thought he
Yep.
wasn't going to do business and beat the shit out of him, and Necro was like, dude, why?
Yeah.
It's like Necro just wanted to work Joe, and Joe thought Necro was going to try to kill him. I think Necro was really like the last famous deathmatch guy.
And so what happened to him? Did he pass away?
No,
Or?
he turned into an alt-right douchebag.
Physically.
Oh.
Okay.
So,
Oh.
Nice step up in Seguri there.
Woo!
I think he actually did return for a little bit, like in 2018, 2019, but he looks like he's deflated and 90 years old. So like,
And that's going on what he looked like in 2003.
he went from
So clearly, okay, so she got that staple to her head,
yeah.
trying to figure out what exactly was going on.
Yeah, like, sometimes I think the staple gun thing is a work, and you're just stuck on by, like, either gig blood or sweat. But other times, I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, sometimes this shit is just real.
Well, like the staple can't hook in, so it's really you just gotta pry it out,
Yeah.
man.
Right.
Yeah, it's usually a shoot, as I understand it. I've
Yep.
never done it myself.
I've done it outside of wrestling for other little like silly sideshow stuff and whatnot. It's real. It's real.
That's like fetish?
There's a method to it, but it's real.
Yeah.
Those are real staples. Nice Northern Lights.
Oh, Sheik's got a little
Staying
bit
in
of
the
color.
bridge, rolling over.
Yeah, that's good. Good. That's balance, man.
Ooh.
Oof! German towards that
careful.
chair was a little scary.
Yeah, get rid of that chair.
Right on that one
It's
shoulder, too.
hardcore, man.
That chair's dead. Just get rid of it.
This is a very Canadian crowd, by the way. Look at all these guys.
Yeah, wow.
Like, you've got Rush in the front row.
Zing!
Still something to be said for a crowd that can be right up against the ring.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and another section of the crowd that chooses not to be? That's a little weird.
Hey,
Who
you
knows?
know something for everybody, man. Son tells me there's a mosh pit in the back of the standing pad.
I was waiting for a backdrop over the ropes, but I don't know if it's coming now.
Yeah,
Fans right there. That would be a little.
here it's got to be here, right?
Fuck yeah.
Drop.
There you go.
Nice step through. And the old face wash. Missed. Falls the outside. Yep.
Yeah, not
Rule of 3 there,
a lot
folks.
of dive room or a lot of anything room on the outside there.
Yeah.
And there's
definitely not
seats
diving.
there. So, like, it's not like Hood Slam where you see somebody going and you just have to fucking move.
They're Canadian. They'd probably apologize if they got landed on. They'd be like, oh, I'm sorry.
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 Is that another wrestler handing them more
Either
photos?
that or staff. Oh, fans holding it. That's crowd interaction.
Yeah, we can't do that. Don't let it happen.
Yeah, we can't do that here. But in Canada,
Anything goes.
I would not let anybody who's like been in the crowd at any of our shows get involved in any of my matches at all.
Oh no.
Nope.
Like, BJ let a chick slap me once, and then her drunk boyfriend started wailing on me, and I was just like, well, never doing this spot again.
Oh, nice on the arm. That's
Ooh.
gotta hurt.
Was that same drunk guy that kept showing up
The
for
one who got
weeks?
thrown out for rushing Joey Ryan, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, he was fun.
I don't know if that last match at POW. Ooh, hit him with the staple gun right on
Fuck.
top of the head. Jeez.
Ow.
Wow, it's like it's a weapon.
Oh,
But you had that kid that came up to the ring and,
Oh, yeah.
jaw jacking. And I mean, I immediately turned to this guy and was like, hey, man, don't beat up my opponent. Right? Just like, I don't know what, right? Because I'm just like, hey, I got this. Don't worry about it. It's in much better hands.
Right, right.
I was standing there going, am I gonna have to be security here? Because like nobody was heading for the guy for a minute.
Right. Well, he's jaw jacking. I'm just like, not only are you taking up my precious time, right?
Ah,
Oof, on the
Hell of a
butt.
deadlift
Oof.
fucking
But-
powerbomb, though. Shades of
Yeah.
Richard Sincere.
But that person protected themselves and sat up. Oh.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, I gotta take that move out of the repertoire.
ah.
It's just it just doesn't work. Picking a guy up and giving him the the power bomb, unless they can flip themselves in position, they just don't know what the heck to do.
Like, I don't know. I was always taught to do a crunch, but
right.
like I'd never taken one till I had to take one from like Mikey O'Shea with one hand on TV, but I was still like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, Mikey O'Shea would have it.
Yeah, he's
for
a
sure.
big, strong guy, and I was not at my heaviest at the time.
Right.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
nice.
Really?
Yeah, I was
Like-
expecting a way higher angle on that.
Yeah.
I was almost expecting like an inside-out suplex there.
Right.
I'm really judging what the count is by the crowd reaction sometimes.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's such a bizarre gimmick.
It's a soft John Cena too.
Okay, that positioning was a little too oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I was about to say that was too blatant there.
Yeah. Now, I think this is a good example of what the different time periods look like, right?
Yeah.
Right.
When you can see the different time periods of wrestling, you can see that these two are doing way more.
Right. There's just
Wait.
so much happening.
So much happening. Yeah.
And to me, this is just my opinion, of course, but it just becomes noise.
Right.
That's
Oh,
a unique
shit.
chop spot.
Yeah.
What are we going to now? Stomping a beer can.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay.
Or
Miss
not.
the can, hit the rib. Skip fucked.
Ew. This is a rather long match.
Especially for a hardcore
Yeah.
match.
I like it. It's the story
Oh
itself
my
is
fuck!
Nice bump. Nice bump.
yeah.
Oh, I hate that bump.
Mm-hmm.
They did it! They did it!
God.
At least the chair was finally kicked out of the way. I think I missed when they did that.
Okay.
Oh,
what is
no.
this?
Ooh,
Oh,
love that finish.
Okay. The finish, right?
I hope so.
I mean, no way. Okay.
God, that straight jacket backstabber though is fucking beautiful.
I was about to ask what that move was called, because I'm seeing the Japanese triangle hold, and then it drops into something where they knees to the
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
It's a. I mean, I always dig anything that's in a straight jacket move. Like, fuck. That was mine and Eddie's finish for like 3 years. Okay, I think we're going old school
Yeah.
again after this. I tried to mix it up so we're like jumping between eras.
Oh, nice.
Good deal.
Fucking
like
lost tubs.
that, man.
Oh, actually, no, this is our last one. This is from a couple years ago.
Ah.
Darren Young, who was the first openly gay man to ever be contracted, well, the first person to come out while contracted by WWE. And then
Okay.
Killer Cross, and
Yep.
some other guy.
Gino Rivera.
Gino Rivera. I know Gino. Gino and I have worked shows down in
Oh yeah, I've
Southwest.
never met
So
him. So
I've heard good stuff
Okay,
about that.
yeah, he's good. Puerto Rican.
and this is Cactus League Wrestling, which is in Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona.
Arizona.
I've heard mixed things about the
You know what?
promotion. So.
I think they've run in Arizona. I think they ran in a Utah before, but a couple of the Southwest.
Yeah, Cactus League brings in a lot of names, but like Sometimes they advertise names and sell tickets for names that don't actually show up and were never booked to begin with.
Yeah, they're the ones. I've heard like shady things about like fake seminars.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, is
Yeah,
that
that's them.
Okay.
Ah, the business.
You gotta love it. You gotta
Like,
love it.
I think they were one of the only West Coast promotions that ever actually had Foley come in for anything. I'm pretty sure he actually showed up for that. And it wouldn't surprise me that he heard that he was advertised and was like, oh fuck, I don't want to let people down. And that's probably how they got
Right.
him.
Good lord.
I mean, that...
It sounds too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, knowing what we know about Mick, like, it's completely
Yeah.
possible that's exactly what happened.
So what I miss? Who we got?
Darren Young, Killer Cross,
Oh.
and Gino.
Chino
Thank you.
Rivera.
I'll remember it halfway through and then forget it for the rest of my life after this, I'm sure.
You're gonna call him Ronivo Gennaro.
Giorno Giovanna. Oh,
Yeah, that's my favorite kind
well,
of
I'm
pizza.
glad you kind of got that.
And I just saw one of my favorite indie wrestling tropes where guys start entering the ring and the referee isn't there yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't know it was his match.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's one of my favorites.
What the?
One of my favorites are when everyone's in the ring and it's ready to start, and then you realize you don't have a
You can see that Cross is trying to sell a t-shirt right now.
Yep.
Yes.
Only reason for a man like him to ever wear a shirt to the fucking ring.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta like it when he fists everybody.
Spicy.
It's that typical indie thing now where everyone has to, right? If you don't high five or fist bump, the fans are like, well, he disrespected me, and then they go on a social media frenzy of he was rude to me.
Right.
And I'm like,
Well, Kevin can get away with it. He's like 6'4".
Yeah.
right,
Like there's no mistaking that this guy looks like an ass kicker.
right.
But I know. Like Richard, you and I, we're always quick to get in the ring, if for no other reason, just that we're not big guys standing nose to nose with someone.
Nope, not at all.
I need to get on my elevated stage quickly
Right.
so I can make money.
Oh.
Like when a company has that gimmick, has the old WCW like runway gimmick, or like the New Japan runway, that's perfect.
Yeah, take our time. And what's going to be interesting in this match is when you see Gino compared to these two guys. And that's not saying that Gino's not talented, but just his size.
Yeah, is Gino a more
He's-
local guy to the Arizona area?
I think he's in Albuquerque right now. Maybe he's in
So
Arizona.
like that region. So we can see
Yeah,
what kind of
yeah.
promotion this is based on who wins. Either Gino goes over and they're building their local guys, Darren Young goes over and they're just putting over the fly-in, or Cross goes over and he's probably going to be one of their top local guys.
Right.
And what I can say is that so Gino's got the mic. He's fucking solid on the mic.
Yeah, too bad we
You
can't
know.
hear it.
Yeah, too bad. It's funny. One of the when I went out to wrestle for Destiny Wrestling a year or so back, around October or so, he was on this show, and I get there early. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna warm up. I'm gonna train. I'm gonna do a little bit of stuff. Just get, knock around a bit. And he got in the ring, and I'm wrestling with guys, and he goes, man, you don't need to do all that. I was like, what else am I supposed to do? Like, and then I watched him work, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't need to do all that. Because he definitely has one of those styles where, I mean, and nothing against he can go, but he had one of those styles where he will play that heel, run his mouth, and just use that time, right?
Yeah.
Guess
Smart guy.
what?
I like him already.
Yeah. Look at his size. Look at.
Yeah.
Not super huge.
Yeah, I mean, even Darren Young is a deceptively big guy when you're looking at him standing across the ring from Cross. They're pretty similar size. And Darren Young was tag team with a fucking giant in Titus O'Neil.
Right.
Well,
He's still going.
that's a WWE thing. Their main roster. I mean, a lot of the guys you look at there and they look normal size, and they're
Yeah.
not, because main roster Vince likes them, tall.
Yeah.
That ref just caught his job, by the way. Like, if he would have fumbled that mic, he would not be working anymore.
But look at it. So here's this guy in there, and he's running his mouth. Darren Young, a veteran. Killer Cross, who's didn't he just recently
Yeah.
get signed to
Yeah, Evan
Yeah.
just asked
He's
us if any of
NXT.
us have seen what he's doing, because it looks like he's getting pushed hard. And, I
Yeah, we're getting
hope...
prime.
I've seen one of the things he's done so far. One of the matches. It looks like they're really putting some weight behind it.
I love it.
like hey, I'm here. Hey, hold on, I'm here.
Oh, I thought he was hyping up
He
the
just
other-
did Bugs Bunny in the Crusher.
I saw Cross's debut, and I've seen clips. And it looks like they're building up to be something big. But they do that to all the new signees, and then
Right.
Yeah.
within 6 months, they're kind of a joke. So I hope Cross
Enemy.
sticks around and keeps that momentum. Fuck
Right.
if he doesn't deserve
And I mean,
it.
I dig Cross. He's a friend of the show, and I wish him all the best. But it's not going to make me watch that goddamn product.
No.
If he works like Nakamura, I'll download the match and I'll watch that. But
Right.
right now, he's just squashing dudes, which he should be doing.
Sure.
Yeah, in my opinion, anybody who deals with Manning's bullshit on any level deserves everything. So,
Yeah.
good on him.
He didn't deal with it.
No,
long.
but he
I think
got
Yeah.
enough
I
to
think it was
know.
the first iota of bullshit, and he bounced, which is a shame.
Yeah, he really does have that Vince look. He's big and white. Just saying.
No, I mean you're not wrong, man.
Boom.
But the crowd or the camera isn't even really paying attention to the
Yeah.
match because
Right.
Gino can just be that entertaining.
It's like former and future WWE talent, and they're like, "Oh, dude, Gino's selling." Yeah, I'm already
Yeah.
becoming a fan of this guy from watching this, honestly.
I like that he has an entourage
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
I can kind of see the psychology of this match building that
Yeah.
he's probably going over.
Maybe, or he's
Suplex to
involved.
armbar. I hate seeing. I mean, nothing against Killer Cross. The armbar's fine, but Darren Young isn't fighting the armbar.
Right.
Ah.
Yeah, Evan's right. That's all it takes. God damn it. Put him on more juice and bleach his skin. Ah! Make him a mastodon.
Nice reversal DDT there.
Yeah, that's very nice.
And he's fucking selling it like he just fucking hit a touchdown.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hope they both just stop selling these and look at him. Nah? Oh, okay.
Ah,
Ooh.
very nice.
Evan's asking for some
Oh,
Vince
I already
impressions.
hit mine. My throat's fucked.
God damn it. I don't know.
I can definitely tell you on car rides, we all pull one out. That's for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Well,
for sure.
Vince sounds like
but
every
mine are
like
terrible.
shitty like worker that we know.
Nice swinging neck breaker. Thanks for being in the way,
Sometimes
ref.
I can like meld seamlessly between Ron Von Hess and Vince and not even mean to.
Right. And I'll admit, my impression of Vince is more Bruce Pritchard's impression of Vince.
Yeah, I can't do my impersonation of Vince McMahon in polite company, so
Oh, good lord.
yeah, cannot stand that guy.
Well, we'll have to have Dylan Devine on the show if you want to really. He can't-
Double axe handle
Oh.
Cut me
into
off, sir.
something there.
Whoa, that was almost a 3 count.
Man.
Gotta love when you do a polite pin break, like just swiping somebody's leg, but they don't sell it.
The dogs do not like this match.
Dogs didn't like that positioning.
It's actually the role.
Now they're way into it, actually. They were quiet for everything
Yeah,
else.
they were more into it than most of the crowd, actually. Look at all these dudes.
Nice Euro there.
Oh.
Here we go.
No. Gino! Oh, fuck!
Oh, man.
Oh, man. That made my hip hurt. Digging the cell, though. You're like, what? I have to feed up for more? Oh, thank God.
I was gonna say, you want to get up and take
Yeah.
more shit? Like, come on.
Cross is fucking waiting for him. That's a total me thing. It's like, okay, I'll feed up and then bail.
I love it.
I told you, Gino is just fun to watch.
Dude, I struck gold grabbing this match. I'm really glad this is the one that I found.
love
Yeah.
Oh God, he's got a broom!
they're having fun.
Dude, imagine the promoter right now, though.
Oh God, not the concession stand.
No, I'm just like, he paid for like this main event, fucking 2 fly-in guys, and right now one of his fly-ins is chasing a dude around with a broom. Oh, you'll love to see it, man.
This is awesome.
Kind of shit that like we'd do to Closser.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, you flew in Mason Dixon line? Okay.
The whole while you've got this WWE Darren Young just sitting in the ring.
Out in the ring.
Yeah, imagine what he's thinking about his
Yeah.
payday.
It's like, wow.
Yeah.
This
Easy
is
enough.
easy.
This is too funny.
Dude, he was selling the whole fucking time. What
What a
even
worker,
happened
what a
to
worker.
him?
Man, if he was that dead, someone could
Yeah.
have pinned him.
Oh my God, no.
Bump on the apron.
What a payday.
And all this money for like such a big arena and
Oh.
a big stage that looks like they had a band too, and one fucking camera.
Yeah, what the hell's happening? It's like a fan camera.
Yeah.
I was about to say, where's
He
Cross?
was backstage.
He just came from the back.
He's coming.
And I think he has like some
He's taking a
ninja
piss.
with him. Like, what the
There's the cheat.
hell yeah. Fucking Gino earned it.
He had some buds out
Yeah.
there, apparently.
Oh
I mean,
man.
with the help of half the roster, Gino wins it.
Right.
Awesome.
Oh,
Fucking. Yep, that was the last one.
All
good
right.
times. Oh, jeez. So, where did Darren Young? Is he still working for WWE?
No,
Where's
he got
at now?
released in like 2017, 2018. He's
Okay.
been on the indies, but I think lately he's just doing other stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with a lot of the modern wrestlers. I really don't pay attention to it. You know, they have to have a particular style, like Killer Cross does, or Thatcher, or the British wrestlers. I'm more familiar with them in their modern stuff, but again, it's only if someone sends me a match. If we look at older matches, I mean, we didn't have a Pat Patterson match on here for good
Yeah.
reason, so
Yeah.
Like, completely unsubstantiated rumors, but when there's enough of those rumors from a lot of fucking
right.
people, you just don't touch it.
definitely not celebrating that.
No.
No.
And wow, we're like at an hour and 30 or 40 minutes. It's like the shortest one we've done in a while, actually.
Well, actually, it's an hour and a half because that 10-minute buff.
Yeah.
You know.
I was gonna say,
10 minute
Yeah, we've
buffer,
been
yeah.
recording for an hour and a half. We've been streaming for an hour and a half.
Right. But this would traditionally be Pride Month. Have any of you gentlemen walked in a Pride parade?
I haven't seen any around here. The you've got the protests going on, of course, but the actual organized parades have mostly been canceled, as far as I know. So,
right. I've walked in them in Phoenix. I've walked in them in Albuquerque. The last one we did in Albuquerque was with a Rocky Horror group that I was with at the time, and
Very cool.
And we walk down. You go down Central in Albuquerque, and you know Rocky Horror very much a big thing in the community. And we get to the end, which is all the way down at the farm, whatever they call it, the fairgrounds. And we get down there, and there are protesters, right?
Oh,
Of course.
And so we're supposed to go in and go through this whole big parade. And they have this whole thing set up with, you know, like water guns and all that good jazz. After you do your main parade, you get to go into the fairgrounds and celebrate. And so I turned to the Rocky Horror Troupe, and I was like, no, we're going to shout these people down. We're going to put ourselves between the protesters and shout them down, especially because most of us are wearing, you know, people are in fishnets and in corsets, and you know, and I'm in like my full Eddie gear, so I have my bike and, you know, a big stupid jacket and whatnot. I was like, no, we're going to shout them down the whole time, right? Because fuck them. Consenting adults are consenting adults are consenting adults. Jeez.
this
I
is
mean,
true.
that's
Again.
That would have been great to see.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Am I right?
It was pretty funny because there's something about when you are a performer, right? You can be an introvert 90% of the time. I am. Most of the time, I don't want to really deal with people. But being a performer and being out in public and showing something is very important. Bringing art to the community is just important. So you kind of get in that headspace to deal with it. But I'm also in this headspace of just the way I am is like, no, you're not going to intimidate these people. You're not going to bully these people because they're different. And I remember when I turned to the Rocky Horror Troupe and I said, this is what we're doing, they kind of looked at me and I was like, what's the worst that can happen, right? Yeah, we throw down. Who cares?
Beat up some homophobes? Sounds like a good fucking time.
Shoot. Yeah, who cares?
I'm just
And we had
imagining
a
a bunch
great-
of people dressed as Columbia stomping somebody.
Getting choked with Frankenfurter beads. But yeah, my wife was there. We just shouted them down until they left.
Hell yeah.
And there were cops standing around and whatnot.
And of course, they'll protect
you
those
know-
protesters. Imagine that.
Well, yeah, it's just one of those situations where it's like, I know why you're here. I know, right? But yeah, this happy Pride. Be proud.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get bullied out of who you are. It's ridiculous. You know, it's hatred. It's dehumanizing, and it's just completely unacceptable.
Yep.
So we got like maybe one or two more minutes. If anybody in the chat wants to ask anything, or anybody else wants to say some shit while we're still all here.
Anything? I can't see the chat, so I'll just.
Yeah, I've got it open.
Not seen anything yet. We've got Billy's got it up. I've got it up. I don't know. Let's just keep grinding away. We are what 2 months, two and a half months into basically
Something
a shelter
like
in place.
83 days
for-
now.
It's
Yeah.
more like 3 at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, some of us have been in place for quite some time. We've got the protests going on. I don't know if you guys saw what went down in Albuquerque recently.
Yeah, some fucking Proud Boy shot somebody, didn't he?
Yeah, so in Albuquerque is named after a Spanish duke. Albuquerque is one of the reasons I bill myself from the Duke City, because
Gotcha.
Albuquerque was the Duke. So in Albuquerque, near Old Town, is a statue of Oñate, who was a Oñate, who was a Spanish conquistador, right? Who came in and subjugated the people. Well, that statue has been up for years and years, and people said finally, you know what? We're tearing it down, right?
Yep.
No more homage to white man, because the Spanish were right, and they subjugated the the indigenous.
Mm-hmm.
So they went to tear it down. Well, a gentleman named Steve Baca, I believe he's Hispanic, which is different than a Latino. We don't want to break down into that right at the moment. But he went there. He went to defend the statue, apparently, and was throwing people around and punching people and shoving people. And when someone turned around and swung at him, he shot the guy.
Yeesh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just engage in violence
And
and
there
then
were-
shoot somebody before you have to pay the fucking consequences.
Yeah.
Right. And so he shot this person into the crowd, and he was there with the city guard, which is kind of like this,
Luftwaffe?
they're like a militia, but it's mostly white folk.
Luftwaffe?
But they're not nationalists. Whatever. They're authoritarian, ethno-authoritarians. Put it that way. If you understand the terminology.
Fucking
here. So
bootlickers,
ethno-authoritarians just decked out in whatever camo and whatnot they could get. And the problem with that is obviously one, it's going to create a when chaos happens and you see somebody decked out in a specific gear, you think they're an authority figure because the overseers have militarized, right? So and it gives the bootlicker the John Rambo cosplay of being one of the guys when they never actually qualified to be one of the guys, right? And it's dangerous. And I had a friend that was there, and we went back and forth on it. And then one of the other gentlemen piped in and said, "Well, the protesters should carry weapons." And that's a very interesting topic to dive into. It's dangerous. Yeah. It's just dangerous.
Yeah.
Right. So
cops already lose their
protesting-
fucking mind over having like water bottles thrown at them. So I'd love to see a
Right.
cop see a person of color with a pistol on their fucking hip, and then just open fire into the crowd.
Right, and you think how bad that can really get. So you have overseers who are armed, and we're not talking just sidearms. We are talking
To the kill.
we're talking ARs, right? AR is a very rapid nail gun is the best way I can describe it. You can put rounds down quickly. These are these aren't automatics, but they're semi-auto. Every trigger pull is one round, and the 223 and its bigger cousin, the 5.56, will tumble and tear you up. They're terrible on human flesh. So you've got them on one side, and then on the other side of them, on the other side of the protesters, the peaceful, unarmed protesters at this point, are people carrying every sort of firearm that you can think of, from revolvers to old cowboy guns to shotguns and of course, ARs and AKs.
Grenades?
And now, well, that's not a firearm, but it's an incendiary device or an explosive device. But I'm sorry if we're getting technical here, Mr. McCool. But so you already have these two hotbeds, these two pieces of danger, right? Now the problem is they line up on opposite sides. They never line up with the cops because it's just how it is. So who's in the middle of all this? Peaceful protesters.
Right.
Now give those peaceful protesters who are citizens who will have nearly the same thing as everybody else on the field now. Now we're talking dangerous. We're talking. I mean, it's beyond dangerous. It is a literal powder keg.
Yeah.
So all you need is one person to fire. Doesn't matter who it is. Everybody else is gonna freak out, panic. Boo-boo-boo-boo.
Right?
I mean, that's
Right.
what fucking happened at Waco.
I believe his name was Atticus Christmas. I know that's a
the Civil War.
The dude at Waco who
Christ,
fired
was
the
that-
first round accidentally, and everybody else lost their fucking minds.
Crispus Atticus was the first person shot
Oh.
during the Boston Massacre. So, black man, first person shot, one round went off, pop, 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 Boston Massacre occurs. Do we need another one? Do we need these?
No.
No. I mean, people are literally out protesting, please stop killing us. Please stop placing your ethno power base on top of us. and you've got the ethno power base coming in and saying no, and you just have the power base coming in and saying no.
Yeah, I mean, it's really
so now
telling
we want to arm
that
everybody.
they can't stop killing people even during, like, national protests.
Please stop killing me. No.
And there's those on the side that want it to happen. I mean, what was this down in California? Somebody attacked some cops. Immediately, oh, protesters. Oh, you see? Then they catch the guy and it's a Boogaloo Boy.
There you go.
Went there to try to cause some crap and kill the cops.
Because that's what would happen. If you armed the peaceful protesters, like you're saying, it's a powder keg, and all it would take is a spark, and that spark would come from the other side if it needs to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're all about the whole insurrection angle, like trying to hide in these crowds and make them appear to be the villain.
Yeah, I mean, we've got that on, like, a large scale, even in places like Salem. There's people doing that shit here. So, like, you can imagine in big metropolitan cities like LA, Portland, fucking...
Right. The chief of police in Salem was coordinating with white nationalists.
Yep.
Right?
Proud Boys, yeah.
The brand new chief of police, by the way. He just got appointed, and that already happened.
And all he had to do was apologize. That was interesting.
And this, what a lot of people didn't know is that he was in a meeting with the Salem, or maybe even Oregon, NAACP, like 2 days before. Because it was in a Zoom meeting. I was in a Zoom meeting. A whole lot of other people were in it. And there was some candlelight vigil thing that night that Tubbs and I went to. And in the meeting, there was a curfew, and he was very selective about his wording of whether or not he would enforce the curfew. It's like, doing typical cop speak. And I think that was the same night that we had armed Proud Boys on top of a parkade looking down at us. And the night that he warned the fucking Proud Boys to stay inside so he won't have to enforce fucking curfew on them.
Right.
Justice and peace, am I right?
Okay, what I'm going to go ahead and do right now is I'm going to start a curfew right now, right now? So if you could go ahead and go back inside your house right now, I'm going to...
And they enacted the curfew like 2 hours before the fucking march started. I was like, oh, okay. Cool.
Sure.
Well, the Portland Police Bureau just put out a report saying that it is they were not allowed journalists to film the protests anymore.
That's illegal.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and encroach on constitutional rights, because that's
They're really scrambling now, which is good to see, but also terrifying to see.
Oh yeah, like murdering people wasn't violating, constitutional rights.
Well, yeah, but until everybody had a camera, they could get away with it. Now it's like public opinion is changing, and at the same time, everything is being recorded. They try to lie about it, and then somebody's like, "Well, look what I got."
Right.
I mean, this has been their modus operandi for like decades.
Right.
And they're freaking out because they're getting caught.
Yeah, they can't keep up with the times anymore. They can't get away with all the shit they used to.
Right.
Hey, Jenny Boyle says, "Get back to shows soon." I'd like to. I'd like to get back, but I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to go out there and risk it.
As long as we're not killing people by doing shows, I'd love to.
Right.
But I don't want to kill my family or members of anybody else's family just because I like bumping.
I thought they were telling us to shut up and
Well, we are.
This is the Cool Heels political hour.
Right. But it's getting back out there would be fantastic. Like it was funny because I think all of us were like, okay, we have this idea. It's kind of germinated. We know what we're doing next. And the COVID happened, and I would much rather know that, because I wanted to entertain people, that someone's grandmother didn't die, someone's son didn't die, someone's daughter didn't die. I've had some of the students have been like, hey, when are we going to do shows again? Can we do shows outside, blah, blah, blah. I was like, who's testing? Like, the promoter isn't going to pay to have us tested.
The promoter isn't going to pay to fucking have us wrestle if there's no crowd, so...
Right. And I know that they've pitched around doing empty arena matches, but I'm sorry, I'm a fan of wrestling. If there's no fans, there's no wrestling.
It's,
Yeah, I'm of the camp of I could give a fuck if there isn't a crowd there.
yeah.
Like that's just training. I mean, really.
Right. It's just training. It's not a wrestling match.
I think
Right.
all of us have had enough no fan matches, either at training or at shows, that we're not so
Yeah.
inclined to do it unless there's a hefty PO involved, and there is not.
I was gonna say we did those at
Yeah.
Fans, and that was
I had one of the best matches of my life in front of like 14 drunk people who didn't give a fuck. So, all right.
Wrestling.
It's nice when you can go to those places and just grab the mic and be like, just goof on the crowd and thank them for being so full, and just packed to the gills, and they were all dressed like chairs, just stuff like that. It's like, I want to thank every chair that came to this show tonight, right? Just so that the cheapest pop of burying myself, fine.
Uh,
But hey, my name wasn't on the marquee. My picture was rarely on a poster.
right.
So,
Facts.
top guys.
I can tell by the audience that the chairman was a lot more optimistic than the fans were. You want to hit us with that outro, Eric, before we go into another 20-minute discussion?
Yeah, we done? All right. Well, on behalf of Spicy McHaggis, Billy Moon, Al Tubbs, and Richard Sincere, I'm Eric Wright. Stay safe and stay cool.
A cab.
Good night, all.